नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, verse number 62. So we read how Vasudeva brought his first son and offered it to Kamsa, and Kamsa returned him back. And then Vasudeva walked back, but he was not very convinced of Kamsa's kind-heartedness. So he was thinking, what will happen now? What is he going to do? So now the slokas which are coming, although it is not very clear, but from the sloka number 64, it is understood that they are spoken by Narada. So when he was taking the baby back, then Narada appeared there, sent by the Devas, because Devas thought, what is this? Kamsa has become generous. This is a problem. So they asked Narada that please go and speak with Kamsa and twist his head. So then Kamsa Narada came, stringing on his veena, and Kamsa received him, because Narada is a sage, famous, well-known. So he came, and then he said, how is everything? He says, fine. He says, what is this? I just now saw Vasudeva walking away from here. Anything special going on? And I saw that he was carrying something wrapped in a cloth. Is this some kind of a gift you gave him? So Kamsa then told him the whole thing, what has happened, that it has been predicted that I will be killed by the 8th son of Devaki, and I wanted to kill her, but Vasudeva said no. He will give all the kids to me, and he brought this one. And I said, I have no fear from him. My death will come from the 8th one. So Narada said, oh really? And how do you know that this is not the 8th one? So Kamsa said, what do you mean? This is the first one. So he said, well, you don't know these devas. These devas are very tricky people, and you better be careful. So he said, what do you mean? So he had a garland of lotus. He took out one lotus and he opened the petals, 8 of them. So he says, tell me which one is the 8th. So Kamsa started counting from his side. He says, this is 8th here. So Narada said, well, if I count it from here, it is 8th here. And if I count from here, it is 8th there. So which one is the 8th? They are all 8th. And he said, do you know that in your previous life you are Kalnemi? And he said, really? And you are killed by Vishnu. You are son of Hiranyaksha, who was also killed by Vishnu. Yes, so these Vishnu and these Devas, they are all the time trying to kill you. And now they are confusing you that 8th one will kill, but you don't know which one is the 8th one. So you think the 8th one is the 8th one by first born as first, but maybe this is the 8th one and he is the one who is going to kill you. And now I tell you some more secret before I leave. So he spoke these two slokas. He says, this is a confidential thing I'm telling you, there's a big plot against you. Your life is in danger. And mrityu buddhi matam poya yavat buddhi balodayam. Just remember the sloka which came before, that as long as you have your buddhi functioning, you have strength, you should try to counteract your death. And the trick is this. Nandadya ye vraje gopa yaschami shamcha yoshitaha vrishnayo vasudevadya devakyadya yedustriha sarve vai devata prayaha ubhyorapi bharata gyatiyo bandhu srido yecha kansamanubrataha. So he says that Nanda etc. in Braj, all the gopas, cowherd men, and their wives, and the Vrishnis, who are your ministers, companions, relatives, Vasudev, etc., Devaki, all the women of the Yadavas, they are all practically devatas, and they are here only to kill you. Sarve vai devata praya ubhyorapi bharat. So there in Vraja and here in Mathura, these cowherd men and all these Yadavas, their wives, they're all devatas. And their relatives, Gyatiyo, Bandhu, Suhrido, all their relatives like Pandavas, etc., friends, they are all devatas, and also those who are your Anuvrata. So it looks like that Sukadeva Goswami is speaking these slokas to Parikshit because Bharata is said here. But from the sloka, next it seems that Narada spoke this to Kamsa, but it is being repeated by Sukadeva in his own words. So that means these are the people who are danger for you. And now it is up to you what you want to do. You want to protect yourself, you want to keep these dangerous people with you. They are the one who are your ministers, they are the one who are taking care of your army, your administration. So it's very nice, they can kill you anytime. And you know that in royal families these types of murders do happen. So Narada said this, and then he says Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. He plays on his veena. He left. So this is Narada's job. That's why Narada is called Narada Kali Priya, Kalha Priya. Narada is known for creating Kalha, quarrel. That's his expertise. So in India, people use this word Narada. This guy is a Narada.
I thought it was in a movie where he was projected very badly. And I'm not aware that it's written in the Shastra.
So Narada is called Kalha Priya. But the thing is that he may be projected badly, but actually he does it for the welfare of people. Somebody takes the blame, just like Kakai. She is blamed, but actually she is responsible for killing of all the Asuras. Otherwise Ramchandra will become the king. And why would he go to Sri Lanka and all these places to fight with Ravana? What is his problem? Why he is so far away? So Kaikeyi took all the blame because she wanted to do good to people and remove the burden of earth and make Lord Ram's appearance on earth as successful. So that is her role. But she is not understood like that. So Kaikeyi is also name used in India. Some of these names, they have connotation. When people say he is Bhima, right? Or he is Duryodhana, he is Narada. So these words are used to imply certain characteristics. Because ultimately these personalities, they have certain character. They are personification of those qualities. So here Narada is also like that. So this is somebody who is very intimate to God, only who he can do such a thing, to get the blame for bringing out some good Leela of the Lord. So people will say, well, why is he doing this? He is going to get all the children killed. But that's not really his intention. So Sri Vishwanath says that Nandadya iti Shukokti Yadva Sri Nardokti. So he says that these two slokas, they are spoken by Shuka, although it does not say Shuka Uvacha, but from the previous slokas we know that he is the one who is speaking, all the previous slokas from 55 onwards. So that's natural that they are spoken by Shukdev, but some commentators also interpret them as spoken by Narada. Only thing is then, what does the word Bharata means here? Because Bharata is being used for Parikshit, and why it says Kansa Manuvrata, is speaking with Kamsa. He would have said Yuya Manuvrata. So तथा ही अवतरिष्यतः स्वाभीष्ट दैवस्य शीघ्रदर्शनेन स्वम आनंदयितुं शीघ्रं तत्प्रादुर्भावकारणं कंसकर्तृक वैष्णवद्रोहं प्रवर्तयन् देवान् आनंदयितुं तेन भक्तद्रोहेणैव कंसं च घातयितुं कंसदास्यमान खेदानामपि तेषाम् अभिज्ञ भक्तानां भगवद आविर्भाव निश्चय ज्ञापकाय स्वस्मै प्रीति अतिशयम् आशी सहस्रं च दास्यमानानां भगवद दिदृक्षान् आनंदं च प्रवर्धयन् हरिर्नौ पुत्रौ भविता न वा इति संदिहानौ देवकी वसुदेवौ संदेह उच्छेदनेन आनंद सिंधुषु निमज्जयन् तेनैव बंधन क्लेशोत्कर्षमें अपि हर्ष विशेषं मानयन् सूचके स्वस्मिन् संतोषेण मिथ्या सौहार्द आविष्कारेण सानुग कंसमपि स्वानुकूली कुर्वन् नारदौ मुनिरागत्य कंसं प्रति रहस्यमाह नन्दाद्य इति द्वाभ्याम्. It's a very long sentence. So the meaning is that these slokas, they are being spoken by Narada after coming in the assembly of Kansa, and he is speaking them to Kansa. So avtarishyatah svabhishta daivasya sighra darshanena swam anandayitum. So he is conjecturing various reasons why he is doing this. So one after another. So first is that Lord Krishna, who is his Abhishta, his worshipable, he is going to appear. So to see him quickly and thus bringing pleasure to himself, he said this, so that there is no delay in his coming. If he does not kill these children, maybe he will delay his coming. So to make him come quickly, he is doing this. Shighram tat pradurbhav karanam kansha kartrik vaishnav droham pravartayan. And so that Krishna can appear quickly, he is inciting Kamsa to act inimically towards Vaishnavas, like Vasudeva, Devaki, another Yadavas, that if he is offensive to them, if he is violent towards them, then Krishna will come quickly. So therefore he speaks. Devan anandayitum, to bring happiness to the Devas, because Devas are also expecting Krishna's appearance. They are also not happy that Kamsa here. Tena bhakta drohenaiva kamsam cha ghatayatum, and then by making Kamsa act offensively towards Vaishnavas and thus making Krishna kill Kamsa. He is doing this. So bringing death to Kamsa. Kamsa dasyamana akhedanam api tesham abhigya bhaktanam bhagavad avirbhav nishya gyapkaya. Then there were some people who were like followers of Dasyamana Khedanapi. Okay, this is different meaning. There were some of them who were troubled by Kamsa. Dasyaman Khedanapi. So Tesham Abhigya Bhaktanam. So those who knew Krishna and they were being troubled by Kamsa, so to make them to give them the message that Krishna certainly is coming, to give them this faith, he is speaking like this. Swasmai priti atishayam asish rahasram cha dasyamananam bhagavad didrikshanandam cha pravardhen. And in this way, to get the blessing and love of all these Vaishnavas, whose bliss will increase by seeing Krishna, that Krishna is going to come in the form of Vasudev's son, and also thus removing any doubt in the mind of Vasudeva and Devaki, Harirnau Putrau Bhavita Neva, that Hari will become our son or not, because he is coming as Krishna and Balaram. So to remove that doubt, Sandihano Devaki Vasudeva Sandeha Chedanena Ananda Sindhu Nimajjan, and drowning them in the ocean of bliss. Teneva bandhana klesha utkarsham api harsh vishesham manayan. So although he is going to put them in trouble, because he is going to put them in prison, so still they will be happy and not be troubled by this, remembering or hoping that Krishna will soon appear. So Suchke api swasmin santoshayan, and having this feeling of satisfaction that Krishna will come. Mithya sauhardavishkarena sanuga kansam api swanukuli kuruvan narada muni ragatya. And then there were some people among the Yadavas who were showing false friendship towards Kamsa, although they were not really friendly with him. So to give them also happiness, that don't worry, continue doing this, soon Krishna will come and kill him. So with all these things, with all these reasons or intentions, he came and preached to Kamsa to kill the children. It's a tough job. Kesanchit Daityatvat Praya Shabda Prayoga. So among the followers of Kamsa, because it says Yecha Kansa Manuvrataha, and also those who are followers of, so the word Praya has been used, Devata Praya. Ubhyorapi Bharata, right? Sarve vai devata praya ubhyorapi Bharata. So praya means mostly. That mostly they are devatas. So why the word praya has been used mostly? Because some are Daityas also in his followers. All this Bakasura, Ghasur, Keshi, Putna, they are also Daityas. They are also coming from the family of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha.
Question, Babaji. Why Vaishnava Droha and Bhakta Droha, both words are used, both seems to be synonymous.
So what is the problem?
It's not a problem, but that, do they indicate something, Vaishnava Droha and Bhakta Droha?
No.
Because it looks like there's two different reasons he's saying. One is that Pradurbhav Karanam Kansa Kartrik Vaishnava Droha, and then he says Tena Bhakta Drohena Kansaschakai.
Yeah, so one is for getting him killed and one is to give happiness to the devas. These are two separate reasons. One is that by making him act against Vaishnavas, he is giving pleasure to the devas. Kansa Kartrika Vaishnav Droham Pravartyan Devanande Anandaitum. This is one reason. And then Tena Bhakta Drohena Iva. So whether you can call it Bhakta Droha or Vaishnav Droha, it doesn't mean it's referring to the same. In fact, he's saying Tena. Tena is referring to Vaishnav Drohena. Bhakta Drohena Iva Kansamcha Ghatetam. And then also getting Kamsa killed from the very act of Vaishnav Droha or Bhakta Droha. So there is no difference between them. Just synonymous.
Thank you.
So now the problem comes, what about the word Bharata? So Bharata is and what you call Sambodhana, invocation. So it has been used for Parikshita in Bhāgavatam. And here if we take that these slokas are spoken by Narada to Kamsa directly, then Bharata has to mean Kamsa and not Parikshit. So how Bharata will mean Kamsa? So that is Sanskrit word generally. So Bha Tamasi Kanti Tasyam Rata iti Kamsa Sambodhana. So Bha means light. Like you have the word Bhaskara for the sun, right? Bhaskara means sun. Means one who brings light or one who makes light. Bhas and kar is karoti. Bhas karoti. Bhaskara. So Bha means light and Rata means engaged. So one who is engaged in light is Bharata. So how can Kamsa be Bharata? He says this is Tamasi light. There is also light, different types. Right? There is a brilliant light. There is a dull light, right? And this is dull light. So therefore he says this is dull light. Bha tamsi kantir tasyam rata. Because Kamsa is also famous. And somebody does a wrong act, he is also famous. It's called infamous. Right? One who is infamous is also known. But in a wrong way. Right? Both are famous. One who is known in a good way is called famous. One who is known in a bad way is called infamous. But both are known. So both are in light. Right? Both are in limelight. Good as well as bad. So sometimes people do that. Sometimes people do crime only to come into limelight because they cannot come in limelight by doing something good. I have heard this. I remember in school some students will used to talk like this. I will do this so that my name will come in newspaper. So ahankara is like that. Even if your name comes in newspaper for murdering somebody or stealing or something, sometimes people do these things just for name, so that they also are known. Otherwise, they are just living a lukewarm life. There is no excitement. So just for the sake of excitement, this, that, they don't mind. Okay, go to prison for some time and come out. And if you have money, you can also enjoy in prison. Right? So this big gangster who got killed recently, when he was caught by the police, he was very cool. He was actually telling them, I am Dubai, catch me. And they says, I'm not worried, take me. He says, I will go to prison and I will come out 6 months, 1 year maximum. So they of course killed him on the way. Showed like an encounter, which I think was just a ploy. Because they realized that if this guy is not killed, then he have to go through the legal process. And he had so many links, so many ministers and judges and police. There were some 60 police people who were in contact with him, helping him. So he would come out. So they finished him. So some people have honor in that also, tamasi light. This is their pleasure. They are egoistic about that. They talk, I stayed in, I killed 6 policemen, but I was in prison only for 6 months. And then I came out. So this is their bravery. This is their light. So this is called tamasi kanti, dark light. Right? So this is, he says, Bharata can be used like that. This is a very far-fetched explanation. I mean, simple would be that Sukdev is speaking this to Parikshit, and over there is no need, but scholars also have to show their twists and tricks which you cannot think. No one will think, how can Bharata means Kamsa? So he proves it. So he says, therefore this is a Sambodhana for Kamsa. Ubhayor Vasudeva Nanda Kulayo. The word Ubhayo, both sides. He says on both sides, they are all Devata Praya. So both sides means on the side of Nanda and Vasudeva. So therefore Kamsa now knows that my enemies are here in Mathura as well as in Braja. That's why he was creating trouble in both places. So most of the Yadavas, they ran away from there, as it will be explained. And Brajavasis were troubled by him. Of course, Krishna came and protected them. So he was taxing them heavily. Etat kansaya bhagwan sasamsabhyetya naradaha bhumer bharaya mananam daityanam cha vadhodyamam. So in this way, Narada, who is called here as Bhagwan, means who is very close to Bhagwan, or he is honorable Narada. So Sasamsa Kansaya spoke to Kamsa in this way, and then he left. Abhyetya, or rather coming to Mathura, not left. So coming there, he spoke to Kamsa in this way. Why bhume bharaya mananam daityanam cha vadhodyamam? Why did he speak like this? He said that, no, he is speaking this to Kamsa now, that there is a big plan which is going on. He says, this is another secret I am telling you, that there is a big plan which is going on to remove the burden of earth and kill the Daityas. So, these people whom you are feeding and thinking that they are your relatives, your friends, your assistants, they are all actually part of this plot, and they will get you killed. Just like you were killed in your past life and your father was killed, you will also be killed here again. It says this Vishnu, he hates your whole family, whole clan, so you decide now what you have to do. I am just informing you. So Sanshayamasa Sashansha. So he spoke this secret. There must be a different reading because the reading in the book is Sashansha. But Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur must have Sanshayamasa. Because he's glossing the word Sanshayamasa, which is not here actually. So now when Kamsa heard this, his head got twisted. He says, oh my God, such a big plot under my nose and I don't know this. I better get my act together. And all these people, this Vasudeva who looks so innocent, this is what he is doing. I thought he is my relative, but he is my enemy because his son is going to kill, and I don't know which one is that. So now, once your mind changes, then things look differently. The same people look differently when you are in a loving mood. Same people look differently when you are in an angry mood. When you love somebody, that person looks in one way. When you start hating that person, he looks differently. And then you may start loving him again, and he will again change. Right? So there is objective reality and there is subjective reality. Or there is objective reality and subjective interpretation of that reality. So objective reality may not change. It is also changing with time, but maybe not as fast as the subjective one changes. So our mind changes faster than the things change outside. Outside things are also changing, but not at such a fast pace. But our mind can change very quickly, and the same person whose face looked to you very beautiful and appealing and sweet, and you love to look at that person, now that person looks like a demon to you. So similarly, situation look different to different people. Same people whom you may have followed and you may have worshipped and honored, then you leave them or you turn against them, then you start seeing what crook they are. And everything, whatever they are doing, everything start looking to you like some criminal act. So now the Kamsa, till now he was thinking of all these Vasudeva and Devaki and these other people as his relatives and friends, family members, even his own father, Ugrasena, he will imprison him because he thought he is also my enemy. So you see how quickly the person changes. So now he starts seeing, oh, that's what he was speaking like this. Oh, that's why Vasudeva was saying that he will give the children and please don't kill Devaki. because he knows that the son will be born and I'll be killed. If I would have killed Devaki, then he was giving a big lecture. Now I understand. So he will forget everything else. So when it is coming to your own life, then you see things differently. In relationship also it's same. People are in love with each other, but if their own life is endangered or they feel like that, then everything changes very quickly. So therefore now he will take control of everything. So Risher Vinigame Kamsa Yadunmatva Suraniti Devakya Garbha Sambhutam Vishnum Cha Svavadham Prati Devakim Vasudevam Cha Nigrihya Nigade Grihe Jatam Jatamahan Putram Tayorajana Sankaya. So now what he did, Risher Vinigame, after the Rishi, the sage Narada had left, then Kamsa, he thought, Yadun Matva Suraniti. He now is thinking that all these Yadavas, they are all Suras, they are all Devatas, means my enemies, because he is an Asura. So now his life, past life, is reflecting back in his mind, and how this Vishnu is a very trickster. He can come like a boar, he can come as man and lion, he can come as a child of Devaki now. He is a very tricky fellow. Shiva is not tricky like that. Brahma is never tricky like that. Brahma is straightforward. So he says, Devakya Garbha Sambhutam Vishnum Cha Svavadham Prati. So he understood that the child born to Devaki will be Vishnu, and he is going to kill me. But which one will be Vishnu? That I don't know, because anyone can be the eighth one. Right? Even in English, the eight is like this. You don't know where it starts and where it ends. It's all round. Right? So round things have no beginning, and they can begin anywhere and end anywhere. So he says this is the 8 is a tricky number. So then first thing he does is, he says he called his army. He says, go quickly, go to Vasudev's house, arrest him, bring him here. I have to keep him under my custody so that there is no trick being played. Every time a child is born, I will kill him. So therefore he put Devaki and Vasudev Nigrihya, he caught them Nigadai Grihe. And Nigada means what you call the shackles. He put them handcuffs, and for the leg cuffs, or leg chain. So I put them. Only thing which can be asked here now, why he didn't kill them? Right? What stopped him from killing? He is the same person who wanted to kill Devaki when he heard. So now why he is hung up on this idea that the child will be born and I will kill the child? Why he did not kill Vasudeva and Devaki? That's something to be thought over. So this is tamasi buddhi. It's called tamasi light. He's only thinking that, well, he said he will give me the child, but I don't trust him. Maybe he brings me another child. Because if he is in his own house, some child is born to somebody and his child is born to them, they can exchange and bring this one, right? Which they did anyway. So he said, I'm going to put them in a house next to me and heavy patrolling guards, and they will be handcuffed. They will not be allowed to go anywhere, so they cannot exchange. And this way, any child is born, I will kill. But I am a nice guy, I will not kill Devaki and Vasudeva. So he did not do that. Because he already heard the lecture from Vasudeva that you are a hero, you are born in Bhoja dynasty, and what people will say that you killed your own sister. So that preaching still reverberating in his brain. Otherwise he would have thought of killing them. And then this whole Leela would be over. Then Krishna has to manifest at that time itself. If he wanted Krishna to come quicker, this was the trick. He would have, Narada should have told, you kill them, and Krishna will come immediately. So Narada didn't tell him that, because these 6 children which were cursed by Brahma, they also have to come and take birth. So that Leela also has to happen. So Jatam Ahan Putram. So what did he do? That Jatam means whenever a child was born, Ahan Putram, he killed. Why? Tayor Ajana Shankaya. That he thought that they may be, the person who is coming, he may be Vishnu. So Ajan means Vishnu. So this is what he was doing. So Vishnum cha svavadham prati iti purvashatru Vishnu devakyam avirbhuvat tvam vadhishyati iti naradena uktam tattat sarvameva shushravascha iti api gayam. So it is not mentioned here, but it is understood that Narada has also told this to Kamsa, that Vishnu will be born, who is your arch enemy. He is your enemy from your past life. So he is going to come and kill you. So Narada has already told this to him. So that's why he remembered his past, and now he knows who is his friend and who is his enemy. And he knows that all these so-called relatives, they are just my enemies in the form of relatives. They are basically devas. So he has heard all that. And Ajana means Vishnu here. So thinking that any one of this child could be Vishnu, because he knows that Vishnu is a tricky person. Right? He knows that he came as Nrsimhadev, he came as Varahadev. Must have also heard the story of Vamanadev, because Banasura was also his friend. So he knows the story of Bali, how he came, he asked for 3 steps of the land and he became big. He says, this Vishnu, you can never trust him. If one person you should never trust is Vishnu. So this is their view. It's like the devotees think that he is the most trustworthy, right? The devas think of him just the other way around. He says you can never figure out, is he a human being? Is he an animal? Is he an aquatic? Is he a mixture of everything? He is small, is he big? What can he do? He says you never trust him if you want to protect yourself. So this is how asuras think of Vishnu. And if you see from their point of view, it will look like that. He says, what is Bali's mistake? What did he do? He didn't do anything, right? He was a righteous person and he was performing yajna. This Brahmana boy comes and he was ready to give him anything he would have asked. He says, no, I only want 3 feet of land. He says, look, here is a person, Bali, who wants to give him whatever he wants. And still he says, no, I am a Brahmana, I am content, give me 3 steps of land. He gave him, and then he takes everything. What is Bali's mistake? Yeah, trusting him. Same Hiranyaksha, what Hiranyaksha did to him, killed him. So he says, therefore, I have to be careful now. So then he put everybody under arrest, house arrest, like 370 article cancelled, everybody house arrest. So mataram pitram bhratrin sarvascha shruhidas tatha Granti hi asutripo lubdha rajane prayasho bhuvi. So now he is giving a general statement here. He says that generally it is seen here on this earth that those people who are very much attached to enjoyment, then for their own satisfaction, for their own safety, they can destroy, they can kill their own mother, they can kill their father, brother, and everyone else. Sarvanscha shruhidas tatha. So this is especially seen in the case of kings, Rajana. Because you see all these stories in royal families, right? The son will kill the father. So here we had these Mughal emperors, this is what they were doing, right? So, who was that? Jahangir, Shahjahan, and all this. After that was Aurangzeb. So he put his own father into prison. Shahjahan, who built the Taj Mahal, he died in prison. He arrested his brothers. So this story is like that. Whoever is powerful kills the other one and takes power. So he says, kings, they can do that. This is what Duryodhana was also trying to do. He was trying to kill his cousins for kingdom. So he says, Rajana Lubdha. Lubdha Rajana. Those who are Lubdha, those who are very greedy for power, Asutrapa, and for their own pleasure, for their own satisfaction, for their own life. So this is what they do. So this is seen because the one's primary attachment is to the physical body. And then on the basis of physical body only raga and dvesha come. Asmita, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, panchaklesha. So first is asmita, that is identification with the body. And then come raga and dvesha. That raga and dvesha could be our own parents or our own relatives. It doesn't matter. Whoever seems a threat to your own asmita becomes your enemy. Relation is not important. So that's the sloka saying. So Kamsa is an example of that. he is a perfect example of a person who can kill anybody for his own sake. Because he will put his own father in prison, he will put his own sister and brother-in-law in prison, and he will kill all the children, and he will harass all the Yadavas so that they will run away from there. Now nobody has done anything to him yet. It's all in the air. He doesn't have any proof of any of these Yadavas doing anything to him. He has never heard anything that they are having some secret meeting to kill him. There's nothing. It's just that one voice came from the sky and one man came from the sky, Narada. So these two twisted his head. So to twist somebody's head negatively does not take much effort. That's what it means. To twist somebody's head positively, if you want to make somebody a devotee, you go on preaching day and night. It's just like pouring water on a pot which is upside down. Nothing goes inside. Or a pot which has a hole at the bottom, nothing really stays. But if you say something negative, then it is a pot which is kept nicely with a big mouth. It captures everything and nothing goes out of it. Immediate effect. Right? You hear some criticism of somebody, you will immediately accept it. And you'll say, yeah, I was already thinking like this. It's good that you tell me now. It confirms my thoughts. And if someone praises in front of you, some other person, then say, really? Why do you think so? I don't believe it. He must be making a show. So you won't believe that. So Kamsa never thought that let me make an investigating team and let me put my spies around and try to figure out actually if these Yadavas are really plotting to kill me. Nothing. Narada said, this is enough. So this is the Kamsa mentality. Kamsadinam drujnanam etat na chitram ityaha matram. He says this is not very surprising for people like Kamsa to behave like this. In fact, it would have been surprising if he did not behave like this. Just like as I said, that it is surprising that he did not kill Devaki. That is a surprise to me. Why is he putting them in prison and wasting money on guards and being in fear? Is this the one? Is this the one? He should have killed it. This is a surprise. How could such a cruel person not do this? This is amazing. Credit goes to him for that. Otherwise he says, Kamsadinam drujnanam etan na chitram. There is nothing surprising about people like Kamsa to behave like this, that they can kill their own mother, their own father. They can do all that. So Matramapi, so who is the first in the list? Matram means the most honorable, the person. Everybody has so much more respect for mother than anyone else. Most attachment is for the mother. The child is most attached to the mother. So Matramapi, and then Pitar, then Bhratri, then in the order of descending attachment. So if you can kill mother, then father is easier. It's most difficult to kill one's own mother. So ityevam yatha purvam gurutva adhikyam. So So he says that from this you can understand that the earlier one is more gurutva, means more honorable, respectable. So most respectable mother, then father, then brother, then other relatives. So even they can be killed by a person who is asutrapa. So therefore this is what he is going to do, and we will read that tomorrow. Tomorrow is no class. Any question on this?
Kishori here. She's asking.
Who is
how is
asking?
it that Kishori?
Okay, why she cannot ask? She is on Manovrata?
No, she's a bit shy.
Oh, sorry, how come you are shy?
Anyway, so I'm the speaking power.
Okay, yeah, yes, Bharat likes to speak. That's true.
So, on behalf of our, we would like to know, so despite Kamsa's having been a demon and having killed all the children of Devaki, how is it that he's getting liberated? And the other question I have, a subsequent question, is that often in the Gujarati community, Narada is referred to as stir up. So, I mean, I know it's improper understanding, but that he shows up and like he causes dialogues like the one that you just spoke about. How can we tell people that, I mean, Narada is a pure devotee, Mahajan. How can we tell people that he's truly a saint and not a stir-up? And then going back to Kamsa, his having killed all the previous children of Devaki and Vasudeva, but yet he gets liberated. How is that?
Yeah, so his liberation is because he is being killed by Krishna, and one of the characteristic of Krishna is Hatari Gati Dayaka. This is listed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 64 qualities. So one of them, I think probably 60th or something, around that number is Hatari Gati Dayaka, means that he liberates a person whom he kills. So that is because of not some ability of Kamsa, but because of Krishna. So it is because of Krishna's characteristic that he is getting liberated, regardless of what Kamsa is. So it doesn't matter what he is, but anyone who comes in contact with Krishna becomes purified, and if he is killed, then he gets liberated. So wherein Nripatiya, Pondrashaila, Ade, so all these kings, Pondrak, Salva, etc., they were killed by Krishna. Shishupal, they all attained liberation. Gati Vilokanath, Asanadya. So anyone who thinks of him, right, becomes liberated. Yenikena prakarana mana Krishna niveshayat. So Bhayad Kansa, Kamad Gopya, Dveshad Chadya Deva Nripa. So they all become liberated because of Krishna's potency. So that is the answer to your first question. As far as Narada is concerned, I already explained that Narada seems to be like that, but you have to see the outcome of an activity, because it is not the action itself, what is the outcome of that an action. Just like a doctor, a surgeon He's all the time operating, so you may think that he's a bad guy. He's all the time cutting people. And somebody who is a heart surgeon, he's even the worse. Or brain surgeon, he's opening heart of people, or cutting the brain of people. Who can be worse than that? But nobody thinks like that. Why? Because he's doing for their good. So similarly, Narada is like a heart surgeon, whose act seems like painful and as if he's creating a fiction and fraction and making, putting one against the other. But he's doing it for good. That's his intention. So that has to be seen, and that this is how it has to be explained. As I was explaining that Kekai did what she did, but why she did is so that Lord Ram can go to the forest and then take care of all these demons. And that's what made Lord Ram as glorious. If he would have just lived, then he would have been one of other kings, like many other kings' story we read in 9th Canto. Okay, he ruled so many years and he ruled so many times. So he would say, well, Lord Ram was born to Dasarath, he ruled for 11,000 years, right? 11,014, let's say. And then he left. That's all would have been, there would be no Ramayana. What was the big thing in Ramayana then? So Kekai is the pivot for that, which twisted the whole story overnight, right? It's a big drama. Everything got turned 180 degrees. From being the king of Ayodhya, he was put into the forest. So that is because of her. So you can see that she has done something wrong, but there is also something she did which was good. And now we remember Lord Ram for all his pastimes which he did.
Babaji, if we look at Krishna's life, he faces a continuous sequence of challenges and calamities. So why is his Leela not like a fairy tale that he's born in a castle and everything goes smoothly? What is the meaning of all of this thing, that even before he's born, people want to kill him, then he's born in a jail? It almost seems like it's less than ideal.
Yeah, because from fairy tale, what do you learn? What is that you learn from the fairy tale, tell me? Do you learn anything? So he is coming to teach. He's not coming here to make another fairy tale story that any poet can write. So his intention is to give education to humanity and set an example for us so that we can take inspiration from him. So yadayad acharti shrestha tattadeva itarajana. So what great people, act, then others take inspiration from them and follow. If it is a fairy tale, then you read it and sleep, a bedtime story. But this is not for bedtime story, this is a story when you wake up. Because you have a calamity on your head and you have to take care of it. So you can learn from his activities, how he dealt with it. So we all face through that. This material world is a prison. Everybody is born in a prison. And then when you come out, there is many kamsas outside, asuras. So these are demoniac nature inside also us. And outside also there are people who have those characteristics, so we have to face them. So he's showing that how you should remember him and fight. Māmanusmara yuddhacha. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu māmanusmara yuddhacha. So remembering him also, that how he did not become depressed. Right? Otherwise people say, oh, I was born in such a condition and my parents did not really take care of me, or they died when I was too young. But look, he was born and immediately after his birth he goes away, and he didn't go to school till he's 11, and he has to face all these problems. So you can also say, well, he is God and that's fine, but he's showing that you remember him, then you can also face all these problems. Because we will get strength from him. He will give you the strength if you remember him. But if you don't remember and you want to act only on your own ahankara, then you try it. It may work sometime, but mostly it does not.
And then Babaji, related to that, why would one, if you think logically, why would one want to worship a god like Krishna, given that all the challenges that he has faced? Because your mind will argue that you're going to face the same challenges if you are worshipping a person that has gone through all of these things.
So what is the logic in that? That if you worship somebody, then you have to face the challenges which he faced. That means if you worship Jesus, you will be crucified. So all Christians should be crucified, or what? What is the logic behind this?
Yeah, I think, Babaji, that's my line of thinking. Because if the person you are worshipping is facing the same situation, what is there to say that you're not going to face the same thing?
No, but I'm asking you just the opposite question, why? You are not giving any reason why you have to face. Everybody has their own karma. So why would you face the same situation? I don't understand. You face situation based on your karma, past karma and present karma. So your karma is different and Krishna is beyond karma. So why is that you will face the same? I don't understand what is the logic. You can say that if you worship somebody, then you will have qualities like that person. Not that you will have situations like that person. If you worship demoniac people, you will develop demoniac qualities. If you worship divine people, you will have divine qualities. Not that you will face the same situations. That's not true.
Babaji, some people use this logic and they give that because Shiva is having this ganja and whatever he had, all these things. So they also say that on Shivratri you should have ganja and charas, and they try to justify it.
So where is he having ganja? Where is he having ganja?
That is how they portray, and they say.
Yeah, but you can portray, you can also ask them that can this show it where it is written in Shastra that is smoking ganja. Have you seen any painting of Shiva smoking ganja? I have not seen anything.
In meditating.
What do you mean meditating? He is sitting and he is meditating. Where is he smoking ganja? Why don't they sit and meditate like him? I mean, have you seen any painting anywhere or any temple that Shiva is being portrayed as smoking ganja? Yes?
I mean, in the United States with hippies and things like that, they have created those kind of things, but obviously that's not authentic or based on Shastra.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can create anything yourself. If you want to smoke, and then you can do that. But that's not authentic. That's not That's a misuse of Shiva. Shiva is not smoking ganja, he is a Vaishnava. Why should he smoke ganja? I don't understand. He's sitting in the Himalayas in a clean air. Why should he pollute it? And from where is he going to get it? Ganja does not grow there in Kailas. It's all ice there. He has to have some big supply, coming from Afghanistan or somewhere.
In fact, like in Delhi near Nehru Park, they have one small temple of Shiva where all people come and offer liquor, and then liquor is served as prasad.
Yeah, so you can do whatever you like to do, but it's nothing to do with Shastra or Shiva. Okay.
I did not really understand. In the first two verses, it was explained that the people in Vraja, they are mostly Devas, and also the Yadavas, they are also mostly Devatas. And then there was a mention of that there are also some Asuras in between, like Bakasura and Putana. So they are related to Kamsa, and therefore also, technically speaking, in terms of lineage, they are also Yadavas.
No, they are not related, they are friends. Gyatayo Sruhido Bandhava. Friends, followers. Yekansam Anubrata, followers of Kamsa. And they are not blood related.
And so then I did not understand why they said that mostly the people are Devatas.
Yeah, he's saying that people around Kamsa, he says on the both sides.
Ah, okay.
Mostly they are Devatas, but there are some who are also. So both sides include all his relatives, friends, followers, everything.
Okay.
I wanted to say something about, I often tell in my occasional discussions, either with employees or Indian people, I say that I would have given up God long time ago if I believed that by worshiping Him or by having faith, all good things happen in my material life. But at the same time, it's also hard for us, I can speak for myself, to constantly remind myself that things can be worse and that I deserve worse. Things are not so bad and that I deserve worse. It's hard to constantly remind myself, but I do often tell people that worshiping the Lord or having faith in the spiritual path, if that meant not having any challenges, calamities, constant triumphs, then I would have given up worshiping long time ago, because it doesn't seem to work that way. There, like you said, there's so much karma involved.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, God also helps, but how many are truly worshipping Him? That is also have to be seen. How many truly understand God and truly surrender to God or worship Him even for material? You can also worship Him for material purposes, as Krishna says, Artho Jigyasu Arthartho, but then you have to do it properly with proper understanding. How many really have faith in Him? It's more like a business. You go to temple, give little donation, pray, God, if you do this to me, I will donate this much, and if not, then forget it. That's not worshipping. You don't trust Him. So it's difficult to tell such people anything. First you have to have trust in Him. You even want to see some material effect, you should trust, but that trust is not there. People think that just by giving little money, which is like a bribe, I can get my job done. The same mentality that you bribe somebody in the office and get your job done, so you bribe in the temple. Yeah. So God is not looking for bribe. Yes, come.
Is about the intensity of the cruelty. Is directly proportional to the identification.
Yes. Yes.
So more, there is more identification, more cruel.
Means more difficult to do it. It's not more cruel. And obviously from that point of view it is cruel. But here it is not from identification point of view, but who is most respectable. It's not that you identify more, but mother is most respectable of all. So therefore to kill mother is most cruel, most sinful.
Yeah, because violence is coming because somebody wants to enjoy and it goes on the expenditures of somebody else.
Yeah, obviously violence, enjoyment at the expense of others brings some violence.
I just want to ask Babaji that. Yeah, I just want to ask that the asuras are always against the devas.
Yes.
So then, in this episode of Narada, how does Narada get trusted by Kamsa? Because
Narada is not, he's a neutral person.
he's considered among the devas, right?
No, he's a sage.
Yeah, but he favors the devas more, or
Well, that's what I'm saying. He is considered as a person who is doing welfare to everybody. He is also protecting Hiranyakashipu's wife, right? So he is seen as a nice person in that sense.
that's why Kamsa believes him for everything he says.
Well, he also says, look, I live with the devas, so I'm telling you this. I often travel to them, I know what they're doing, so. That's why I'm saying that when someone comes and tells you bad thing, you tend to accept it. Even if it was not Narada, but some other guy came from heaven and said this to Kamsa, I will believe it. That look, I was there, Indra was having a meeting.
So why does Kamsa believe this?
That's what I'm saying, you're not listening to me. I'm saying that when someone speaks something negative, then you tend to believe that. So what is he saying? That these people are your enemies. It's a negative thing or not? So he believes it. You are living here. If somebody comes and tells that this lady who is living here in this apartment, they are actually, she was talking like this about you.
I didn't happen to believe.
Now this person is not some sage or anybody. At least Narada is a sage, means who is known not to tell lies unnecessarily. Why should he tell lies? Whether he is from this side or that side, it doesn't matter. He has no interest in taking the side of the devas and putting Kamsa into trouble. He is not after any power or anything. He is a person who is going around. And he is Brahma's son. It's not some ordinary person. He has credibility. But I'm saying that when it comes to negative, means some criticism, negative feelings about another person, then you tend to believe it. It's a human psychology. Don't you think like
Yeah,
that?
it does. If you give me the example of myself, then I could relate to that.
Yes.
I always had this question about Narada because how Kamsa could believe him. I mean, That was always, whenever I read this pastime, it just was coming up.
Okay, what is your logic that why should he not believe?
Because, in the previous sentence that you spoke, he's against Vishnu and he remembers his past and he knows the whole Vishnu had killed his family. So all that dvesha he had against the devas. So that's why I was thinking, why would he believe Narada, who is a deva himself and he's always with the devas? Why would he believe
But
such a
Narada's character is like this, that even if you think of his deva, he is not fixed in Devaloka.
Yeah, he keeps roaming around.
So he doesn't have a fixed residence. Therefore, he has no interest that I'm just going to favor these people because this is my interest. That's how he's seen. He's a sage, like a sannyasi. So sannyasis are not favoring this or favoring that. They meet you, they tell you what is good about you. This is the meaning of a sadhu. This is good for you, you should do that. So he's telling him that. And secondly, as I'm saying, he's saying something negative which people accept easily. If you would have said that Vasudeva is a nice person and this and that, then he may tend to think, really, is he so nice? You should not think that their eighth child is going to kill you, really speaking. There is nothing like that, and don't worry. If you would have said like this, he would have a hard time accepting that. Because it's something positive. If you say if someone comes and tells you that this person is very saintly and he is actually a pure devotee, and then you say, how do you know? But if you say that this person is a big cheater, you will not say, how do you know? You will never say, how do you know? Right? You will say, yeah, I thought so. I had my doubts.
Both got news, Parikshit Maharaj and Kansa, they will be going to kill. So in this regard, my question is that what is the quality of mind that Parikshit Maharaj going to utilize in best way and Kansa in the worst way?
No.
Because in our life also coming...
Kamsa is worried about his death, and Parikshit, what did he say? He says, Bhava Shātshotra Mano Bhiramat Uttam Sloka Gunanuvadat Manu Rijyeta Kaup Pasu Vina Pasu Gnat. He says that you please recite Krishna's qualities. I want to hear, because they are the nectar for the ear, for the heart. Right? So this is how he is utilizing his time. You know that I am going to die, I have a limited time. So Gayatu Dastu Alam Takshako Kuhuko Takshako Va Gayatu Alam Vishnu Gatha. Let this Takshak or whatever charm this sage has created, he may come and bite me. You please recite stories of Vishnu. And what is Kamsa doing? How can I destroy this? How can I destroy so that I can protect myself? That's what he's doing. Okay.